Yeah, guess who's back? And you know me. Wait, who?
Alright, my name's Decoy. We are here at Got Beef. We're doing the first podcast, and we're going to be discussing a few things over this podcast as well. It's the first one we've ever done, and we've got a real good lineup of guests here too, who you probably haven't seen for a long time. So let's begin with introductions. I'm Decoy.
Zone Doubt, homie.
Keynote, Zone Doubt. We haven't seen these guys for a long time. We're going to get to that. Basically, I want to let the fans know back at home the direction that Got Beef is going. I want people to understand that while Got Beef will still do rap battle events, we will only be focusing on main events. So Got Beef is primarily not going to be a rap battle league. We are Got Beef Entertainment, meaning we want to provide you hip-hop entertainment or any kind of music entertainment that I think is going to be good for the fans. When I say that I think is going to be good for the fans, I want you to think it's good for you too. You know, a lot of fan feedback is going to become super important. And when we do rap battle events, we need to know, who you actually want to see. Who's some people from overseas that you haven't seen here before, and who's some people that you haven't seen in a long time, like these guys who you'd like to see return. So
and who's up and coming in Australia too.
Exactly. So primarily we are not going to operate as a battle league. However, we have still Got Beef Entertainment. We are still going to do rap battle events. We are still going to support the fact that there's a lot of other rap battle leagues out there, all with different purposes. Some are there as feeder leagues to kind of get the talent out there. Some are also trying to do big events, which is fine. We're only focusing on main events.
Well, Real Talk have something next month where they're doing their 7th birthday. That's a real good card.
And that's a main event.
Yeah.
That's the caliber of what we're trying to do.
It's a great card. Disaster, Nestle, Desaurus. There's some good names, good matchups too. Like whoever did the matchups, that was pretty savvy. I kind of dig that, and I think it's important that we end any kind of idea that there's animosity between the leagues. I think that's really important, and I think more people need to put on for battle rap in terms of if you can battle rap, or if you understand something that someone is doing poorly, grab them and point it out. Like if you've got someone, I'm not going to name names, start beefs and shit like that, I'm not interested in that shit, but if you've got someone who just does the standard bullshit setup line and then just takes that rhyme to rhyme with their punchline, and their punchline's just some stand-up fucking comedy joke, this isn't 2005 anymore. Battle rap has evolved, and the reason why Australia lacks is because there was a lack of quality control, there was a lack of knowledge being spread between people, and there was a lack of the older heads putting people on. A lot of us, some people probably weren't even aware of battle rap in Australia until after the Got Beef videos. Some people were,
100%.
There was Battle for Supremacies, there was the Revolver every year, there was our participations in Scribble Jam. There was the fact that Goldmike back in the days of internet battling, their longest ever champion was a guy out of Wollongong called Chinchek, who I still think to this day could outflow and outpunch 90% of people who are battling now. Right?
And I think the other thing we need to talk about as well is that when Got Beef did a lot of them first main events back in the day, obviously it was a big chapter in battle rap, so Got Beef has been responsible for many of the classics, and there's a few of us that were behind making that happen. Now, we were also a part of, and I was also a part of, the whole everybody getting to battle, putting anybody in front of anybody.
Yeah.
I was a part of that as well. Where did that come from? That question can be answered right away. It came from lack of knowledge. I didn't have any industry knowledge. I hadn't put events on before. The first Got Beef event ever was just contacts out of my phone. I was just hitting everybody up. Keynote was doing the same thing. He's responsible for some of the matchups that went down at that event as well. These were all just contacts. These were people that we were already in with. And the venue I contacted on that day, shout outs to Spot in Melbourne for giving us that classic event, but that was the first time I ever approached a venue. That was the first time I'd ever had to flip a coin before somebody rapped. That was the first time I actually had to time somebody when they were rapping. No excuses. It was a learning curve. Failing is fine.
Not that it didn't work.
It worked, man. And if you're gonna fail,
your battle.
hey, look. At the end of the day, if you're gonna fail forward, and that's what we're trying to do. We've done enough of that. Failing has been done. Let's now get Australian battle rap evolving again.
Quality control is super important, and I think it cheapens what we are doing when you have someone who is not ready get a shot that they have not deserved. We might have different opinions, and I don't even know who the fucking the kid is. I don't know his history. I've never met him, and I have no animosity towards him. But he certainly didn't deserve to go up against Conceited, especially when the talk of Conceited coming to Australia revolved around the fact that 360 wanted to battle him. It should have been That's the battle, and it makes sense. You've got two comedic battlers, you've got two icons of what they're doing, the 360, although for some reason, he goes through stages, man. Everyone seems to hate him at the moment, then everyone will love him, whatever. The fact is, this is a guy who transitioned between battle rap into the industry, has been very successful, deserves every accolade he's achieved. He's moving into movies, he's on the cover of Rolling Stone. Like, this is a guy who made it in life, and he had specifically said, I want Conceited, I want Conceited. Then all of a sudden, as a fan, we weren't in contact back then, we had our beef or whatever, which we'll talk about later. But when I saw that, I went, who the fuck's the kid?
Now let's address that real quick, because we got a lot we want to cover,
Yeah.
so let's make sure we address this quickly. But to answer that question, it comes from what you were saying before. You're actually right in two ways. Is number one, a lot of the cats that got to a certain point. Now I can understand 60 had a flourishing music career. It makes sense why he didn't just battle. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, too.
But there were a lot of battle rappers that did sort of get to that maybe just above mid-tier or just hit that top tier level. They would retire right away thinking they'd done all they needed to do.
And not provide a platform for the next and get them to step. I remember very clearly Iliac was one of the guys that I would look at like, this kid's going to be fucking amazing back
Yeah,
then.
100%.
Def Rum. Bro, Def Rum back
And
then.
cats like that did what you thought they were going to do.
Yeah,
The only problem is
stepped
when they
up.
got to where you kind of thought they were going to get, that was it. There was
They
never,
plateaued.
it never carried on, it never grew, it just...
But the evolution was clear in battle rappers like that. We had gone from the stage of the shit that was going on in World Rap Championships, where it was just about rhyming and saying jokes, to they understood breaking down an opponent, setting up
Yeah, there was
punchlines,
structure,
having
there was timing,
schemes, and all that sort of. There's a lot of elements that come into it, and I think the state of battle rap also coincides with the poor state of Australian hip hop in general. Is the quality control's not there. Too many people go, oh, I can rhyme on a beat and it has some rhythm, I'm now a rapper. And they don't pay their dues. 61 said that to me. In the height of our beef, when we had a beef, not many people know the beef started before that event. We were back, yeah. And one of the things he said to me is, cunt, you haven't paid your fucking dues. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? I've had fucking 10 battles where I didn't understand, I understand now. I hadn't done my homework. Yeah. I hadn't worked on delivery, understanding the crowd, understanding entering a battle and not just being closed-minded and, oh, I'm just going to be aggressive and get in his face because I'm fucking confident in myself. I can try and intimidate this guy and it's going to work, everyone's going to fucking love it. Get to an event, that shit happens and I've got no way of getting out of it. So the moment he goes, good burst, dickhead! Boof, crowd changes, battle's over, I've got nothing, and that comes from not paying my dues. And a lot of people, I think, have not paid their dues and have record deals. Some people deserve it.
That's where like battle leagues, and we're definitely one of them, but battle leagues in general, but also battle rappers that are going through these leagues need to understand as well that we all play a position at a certain point. At one time, you were going to inevitably be an entry-level battle rapper, right? Now, you should be on a platform meant for that. You shouldn't be an entry-level battle rapper among top tier or mid-tier battle rappers.
It doesn't make sense.
Be on that platform.
Got Beef did a lot of that. Real Talk did a little bit of that.
And we understand.
I just want to be clear, I'm not shitting on Got Beef, I'm just saying, if you look at it back then, the two major leagues were Got Beef and Real Talk, and I think that it happened amongst both, and I think both have improved now, and I think they both still can improve. There's things that need to happen, but like I said, people need to put on. I went away and I got this guy into battle rap, who until that moment was never going to step foot into a battle. He's a rapper, a fucking amazing rapper. You've heard him today.
Man, I heard him today, I heard him back in the day, and let's just real
studio.
quick before we do move on, understand that when this happened, this whole battle between Zone Doubt and Cursor, and we will talk about that in length separately, but let's just touch on it now, is that I had never really seen neither of them rap in front of me. I had heard Zone Doubt freestyle to me on the phone, which was ill, and I could tell there was a personality there, but I didn't know that much about it. A lot of Keynote's word is what made that happen. Now, Cursor, the same thing. Cursor had been hitting Keynote up. Keynote had hit me up to say, look, is there anybody we can give this guy? We decided Zach had been sitting there without an opponent for a long time, so we gave Zone Doubt an opponent. And
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if each person had done that, there'd be a generation of Zoned Outs and
Recommendations.
definitely,
From
there's
those
more
that
people
are
working
those
with people and introducing them to the scene rather than us having to do all that ground level work just to get somebody that may or may not be polished. You know what I mean?
Because, for example, like say, you know what I mean? Like for credibility, whatever. You know, like you can talk that in a battle rap, whatever. You want to put him with a top, medium level tier, this and that. For his example, I had no interest in battle rap. You want
At all.
8 Mile was my favorite fucking movie. Besides that, I never watched anything, man. And for the fact, like you're saying, you know, you got someone in the game, and instead of me just being on the street, if I didn't know him or whatever, yeah, I can rap. I didn't know my ability, what I could do with an opponent or whatever in front of me. But yeah, it makes it a lot more easier, you know, if you got that someone who's already dipped their toes in, you know.
Yeah,
like,
man, and look, you might have been, if Keynote hadn't have, like, brought you into the scene the way he did and showed you how it all works and given you some of the groundwork, you would have probably been one of them dudes that had to figure out your delivery on the day, figure out how you move around, but you had a bit of that help before going in.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you were qualified before the battle a little bit, you know, then the day was really just a test of what we really
And
had.
And that comes back to quality control too. You should not just think just because you can do something one time that you are at a level where you can compete doing it. I made that mistake by battling 360. I was not at a level where I should have battled 360. I should have battled a lesser opponent and figured out my mistakes against lesser opponents. I learned a lot.
And I
losing
agree,
to
looking
60.
back.
But it's the same with everything. When you're making music, whatever you're doing, there is a lot of studying to be done. People like Kendrick Lamar, Royce da 5'9", your Eminems, these people do not become geniuses and experts at their craft naturally. It's not a God-given gift. These people have broken it down. They've gone, okay, what is rhythm? What is delivery? What is precision and cadence? And how many different rhyme schemes can work to different flows? How is it that I can put what I feel across on pen so fucking well that it cannot be questioned? You look at someone, prime example, Joey Bud, one of the most hated rappers in the world, does a lot of stupid shit. You can go to Kanye all fucking day long, but I think Joey's a better example. If you go watch the documentary The Art of Rap, they play an a cappella of an old verse of his, right? And he talks about the floor's real cold in the jails of Jersey. And he tells his life story, like his name's whatever, so what the fuck is my son calling him daddy? If you listen to that verse, that's rap, that's beast mode, right? He didn't get to that naturally. He worked and worked and worked, and that's what created that. When you battled Cursor, obviously not a lot's known. Zone Doubt was a producer. That's how he approached me. I make beats. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, I wrote this song, bro. Bang, rap the song. I'm like, you're not a producer, you're a rapper. No, I'm a producer. No, you're not. You're a rapper who can make beats. Right? You got to start rapping. Both. We broke down rap, what we wanted to achieve in rap, and we worked on that. When the Cursor battle came up, I said, all right, bro, I know you're coming with me to watch me versus 360, but now I want you to step in the battle. No, I'm not really that keen, bro. Like, come on, do it for me. I'll help you out. I'll show you what we're going to work on, how we're going to do it. Both, smoke some weed, put on a beat, freestyle. And I was just hitting punchlines on it. And then he was hitting me back. Both, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. By the time it came to that Got Beef event where he battled Cursor, a lot of people think he's masterfully structured that whole thing to happen like that. No, you watch the battle. When Cursor hits the line...
It's looking like they stole the face of Fraser and placed it onto Macy Gray.
You look like Jessica Mavroy spent her years in ice. That's the moment when Zach decides, I'm not going to hit you with basic battle shit like the set line and all that sort of shit. Let's go. I know your girlfriend's called April. Boof, turtles.
I can play games and this nerd will flip. Like when I tell him how me and my boys gangbang April like the turtles did. I don't know what I was...
Alright, sweet, bang, start rapping about the turtle. Okay, how can I link this together? Okay, let's start talking about turtles, Shredder. Oh, cool, Raphael Size.
Gonna tell us Paul left that bitch splintered.
That's right, bang. Size, choke on my size.
Looked into her eyes, told her open up wide. Used my dick like Raphael's weapons. She choked on my size.
Poof, it gets put together.
Yeah.
Right? That was what was going on in his mind. And that comes from practice. But I can guarantee you right now, without that practice, the level wouldn't have been there. But if you could...
Before we move on from that subject too, I want people to understand that if you're an artist preparing for a show, or even if you're an artist just preparing to make a record, you're probably going to work on your flow first, you're going to work on your breath control, you're going to work on everything. So why would you do anything differently as a battle rapper? You know, it's understandable when you have your first battle on an entry level and you're a nobody, you're going to have to learn some things on the way, but it would be good if you can come pretty polished from the first event. What's a good example? Zone Doubt and Cursor. They were both pretty fucking good the very first time they ever had a battle. That was his first battle. I want to make it clear, I mean, Cursor had been rapping and everything, but that was his first battle too.
let's make it clear. Cursor was new to that.
But that's
whole
coming
scene
from work and homework and fucking working on
gonna
elements
say,
of
I think-
yourself before getting into the ring.
I think that's where it goes back to what you were asking, where the whole movement of battle rap is going to, and how, you know, we want to start having more main events and just less, you know what I mean, I can rap, chuck him in a battle kind of thing, is because, you know what I mean, how many years it's been happening now? A good nearly 10 years.
Man, I mean, God Beef's been around for 6 years, but I mean, before that, there was Don Flops, there was King of the Dot, there was Grind Time, and it's been happening since day one, you know, but the difference is
And
back
as
then,
entertaining as it was, when you compare the quality of
Yeah.
control of bars
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the breakdown of what makes a skilled lyricist or performer, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you got to up your ante. These, you
And
know,
we need
Right,
to-
you've got to evolve.
we need to respect that battle rap has, well, we've done the baby stages of battle rap now, so we can't,
Can't stay
battle rap
there.
needs to learn to walk now.
Yeah, you can't stay there. You can't be hitting the same bullshit rhyme 4 syllables of every line, have the 4 bars set up to the basic punchline shit that the best were doing prior to the fucking cameras. Like, you look at the World Rap Championship, you look at the Anecdote, Prime and Purpose more because 60 was clever punchline. So if you take Anecdote, Prime and Purpose from that World Rap Championships Australian division, that's what they were doing. They were showing you
Yeah,
the
100%,
structure to this shit,
100%.
and then it moves on. But you take Disaster, right? You got Disaster in the World Rap Championships. Then you look at Disaster versus Thesaurus. I think he lost, but that doesn't matter. You take Disaster
It
versus
was a
Thesaurus.
step up though,
right?
100%.
Disaster who battled Thesaurus would kill Disaster in the World Rap Championships. Disaster that battled Cannabis would kill Disaster that battled Thesaurus, and Disaster that battled Iron Solomon would kill Disaster that battled Cannabis.
Yeah,
See,
definitely.
he evolved the whole way, and that's why he's still prevalent today.
Yeah, 100%,
and he's just one. He's just one example. Whereas then when you look at other examples like Dumbfounded, you can put him in a battle tomorrow, and you can put the battle on versus Satire. It's the same Dumbfounded.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
He hasn't evolved, but he's
And I think
done his own
what
thing
you said was
outside
just
of it,
fucking
yeah.
interesting, man, because basically what you're saying there is like Disaster would have started out like a lot of other battle rappers. You know what I mean? I mean, he would have had his zoned out moment, which would have been that first moment where he stepped in a ring, and obviously from the era he's from, it's probably over a beat in a room full of people, but
It's the pit.
he probably had a time where he choked, or maybe he didn't choke, but he
He
had
did
to
choke.
learn
Choked
along
against
the way.
Locksmith.
He wasn't the shit.
Right, Church against Locksmith.
Okay, there you
But
go.
you could
But
never
I mean,
imagine
I'm sure
Disaster
back in the
choking
day,
now,
shit
you
that we
know?
haven't seen,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's shit that isn't documented and on YouTube where he had to learn some shit along the way.
And
And the
you know
shit
what?
he learned back then, by the time he got to Grind Time, he had learned a lot, but still,
And
I mean, look at him now.
It's his grind, his preparation, it's his ability to learn, and it's learning off other people around him. He's good friends with
Definitely,
Thesaurus, he's good friends with
He
Daylight.
comes from a good crop of people,
Exactly,
so he's
and
learned
that's what
from
makes
the
it
best.
there. And if we all start doing that now, if battle rappers in Brisbane sort of get together, that Brisbane's where I'm at, well, we're on the Gold Coast right now, obviously it's Surfers Paradise, but I'm in Brisbane right now. So if battle rappers in Brisbane got together and sort of saying, okay, well, let's elevate Brisbane as a whole, let's all work together when we got opponents, not, writing each other's bars or anything like that, but saying, bro, like, this shit was fucking amazing, but this shit was whack.
Yeah,
And you just need to fix
And
how
let's
you're
give
doing
the battle
that.
rappers that need work a little bit of that support from the people that are doing it
You
and
know,
are good at it.
you do 1 year of that and it catches up to Don't Flow. You give 2 more years, it catches up to King of the Dot. A few more years, it catches up to Smack. You know, there's not enough of it. There seems to be. I'm English, so obviously I have an opinion as to the Australian culture as a whole, and
Yeah, yeah,
to the Aboriginal culture. And the Australian general culture is a that'll do mate attitude. She'll be right. Whereas
Yeah.
you go to a place like England, that doesn't exist. You know, we're both from
Yeah,
Liverpool.
100%.
She'll be right won't get you nowhere, right? And that's what we need to kind of delete a little bit more so in music, but especially in battle rap.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get rid of the she'll be right. You look at someone like 360, he deserves. He found his market, he cornered his market, he entertained it, bang, he's successful. You look at Cursor, he had a certain fan base that he appealed to. He mastered the art of appealing to that fan base. He built that fan base up. He deserves everything he has. But I can name a lot of rappers. I'm not going to. It's not about starting shit with people, but I can name a lot of rappers that don't deserve the spot they have.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
And that comes from a lack of, like I said, lack of collaboration, a lack of working together, lack of communication, and a lack of respect for the art. Because understanding it is an art. You're not going to go into a fight with a fucking, UFC fucking champion after 6 weeks of training, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. You're going
Right,
to do
so
a lot of groundwork.
So you're not going to be conceited if you haven't battled a fucking Soul, or not Soul Khan because he's amazing. You know what I mean? You've got the
I
tiers. And
understand
you've got
where
to
you're
work.
coming
You've got to
from,
work up
100%.
pay dues.
And without spending too much time on this
Yeah.
particular battle that we've talked about, I mean, where you referenced the kid versus conceited as well, that was a situation where you had a guy called The Kid who had done 6 battles, being consistent. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think Conceited was a big step up for him? Oh, 100%. Do I think that he was maybe everybody's pick of the litter for the battle? Probably not. However, cats like Manners had basically retired, or at least at that moment. I know he's since come back, but your 360s were gone, your Defrons were gone, they were retired, they hung the gloves up.
Yeah.
It got to the point where you kind of had to pass it on to the new generation. Now, I took a big gamble with that battle. I'm happy with the result for what it was, but I understand. I mean, how good would it have been if somebody like 360 battle Conceited?
That was the battle.
Entertainment that would have made the battle.
That was the battle.
Now, just to put some emphasis on where the direction of God is going to go now.
Yeah.
My role in all this is that I'm going to focus on just the business now, because I feel like I was a young battle rapper when I first got into this, so I always had that thought of a battle rap career or whatever I was going to do, but I don't think that's my position now. I think I've fallen in love with the business side of things, and that's a side of me that a lot of you fans haven't seen before, because we've made the mistakes together, we've grown together, we've experienced classic moments together. Now, whether you like me or not, and I understand some people don't, you may have your reasons, whatever. Let's just focus on one thing that is 100%, is that we have definitely put some classics on. We've done it more than once, but at the same time, it is time to focus on a particular direction. And the one I want to focus on is just producing the main events. That's it. So that means to me, that doesn't mean there may not be 10 battles on a card. There may only be 3. There may only be 4. There might be less than that. There might just be 2.
Might be 4 months apart.
At the end of the day, though, they are going to be classic battles, and they're going to be talked about. Now, me, I don't feel like I need to be that guy in front of the guy. I know it seems like I'm getting all animated in front of the camera now, but I don't need to be that guy in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? I think Australian battle rap had its fun with me. I think I've had my time with it, and I've loved my time with Australian battle rap. But I think my position now is to be on the business side of things, so that these talented motherfuckers can kind of take it from there. You know what I'm saying?
And let me just add something into that. I know, as a victim of a lot of hate, if you provide something, and you provide something better than other people provide, then you have a value. And you do have a value, Decoy.
Yeah, definitely.
And your value is...
Everybody sitting here has a value, 100%.
You have the ability to get the sponsorship money together that can pay the extravagant fees for these big names. You can bring them over, and you understand about getting the best quality production, getting the best quality camera, and all this sort of stuff. You haven't, you've slacked on it in the past, whether that doesn't matter, but when you've done it right, you've done it right. Got Beef 1 was done right. If you look at the time that it was done in, you look at the standard of the quality of having Nathan Hart doing the production, shout out to Nathan, and you look at the opponents, the way the matchups went, lyrical versus comedy, all that sort of stuff, the good mixture, that's what made that a good event, right? And I know that now that we all have, but now that you've shown me specifically, like, you've matured a lot, you've learned a lot, and like you said, with your outside of hip-hop career, you've learned management, business, and that sort of thing. You get that this isn't important right now. It's the steps we make. Obviously, you got to make money out of this shit. Let's not get this fucking wrong. People seem to get this wrong. Money has to be made. When I hear people bitching about, oh, why didn't Smack just give fucking Hitman Hollow the 70,000 Battle Shotgun and Shook? Okay, well, how does Smack make money?
That needs to make that happen.
He can break even by, why would he fucking do it to break even? Why shouldn't he get fucking 10 grand per event?
Yeah, definitely.
Why shouldn't he be making a fucking profit? It's a business about making money. And people who don't have a business understanding should not be commenting on somebody else's business acumen. I do think it's time to step away from the camera. It's also time to step away from me. I've got this battle that we're going to discuss, which I'm doing, but I'm certainly not returning as a battle rapper who's going to be fucking all over YouTube battling left, right, and center.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to take this opportunity you've given me. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you to my opponent.
We'll discuss
because he is a legend.
In length.
My opponent is a legend, a true legend of rap, not just battle rap, but of rap. And for anybody who is of my generation, I'm 30 years old. People of our generation, we all looked up to this man, and that's why he's getting the time with me to go, okay, I will put the fact that I'm going to be in a room full of people that want to see me lose, and I will fucking do all this because A, I still have the passion. B, obviously I have grown. I've been working. Well, I've been away for a few years. I've had my freedom taken away from me for about the last 3 years. I haven't been active in that period. But prior to that, amongst all the personal things that were going on, music was the focus. We were working on music, and I've always been that punchline rapper. And I am a very analytical guy. I've broken apart what happened with my performance, why I was shit, and and what I could do to fix that, and I've worked on that. So when I come, I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion. Expect me to lose, watch me lose, please. That's how I get my views. You guys watch to see Keynote get embarrassed. Watch Keynote get embarrassed on November 11th. The fact is, I'm going to kill him. But there's evolution. This man here is about to put on the best, I think, best performance in Australian battle rap. Yeah, and
Hey, let me ask you, Bob. Well, you know, before we do wrap this up, we've got you right here. You're returning to battle rap. How do you feel? Well, we're going to announce who you're both battling separately, but right here, right now, how do you feel coming back into battle rap? Like, what's going on with you?
I love it, man. I'm excited, bro.
There's still that part of you
Like
that
I
loves
said,
it?
bro, it's been like what, 6 years since the last battle.
And your
Like
last battle was a fucking classic.
And
It's
it
an
went.
Australian
went.
fucking
And he was a
hip-hop
child.
classic.
Went down, and that's what I mean. I was a fucking kid, man. I was 18, fucking 1 year out of high school, and we did the battle, bro. And I'm like, I mean, we all matured, we've
We were
grown.
all kids.
I might not have been battling, but like I said, I've been working, man. I've been mentally growing, and with mental growth comes everything else. And that's what I mean. I don't know. Like you said, I ain't gonna come back and be the next fucking, Mook. I don't want to be no killer. I don't want to come back and just slay everyone. You know what I mean? I've been making moves in music since I was 15. You haven't heard my shit. You heard my shit today.
I've only just been introduced to your shit.
But there's a
That's
reason
what I'm
for
saying.
that.
That's a reason. You
Yeah,
know, like
the
I'm
product will be
preparing. Like
perfect.
I don't like just I can do this, I can do that, jump at this, jump at that. I want to make sure where I'm going, I'm ready to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man.
And
100%.
and yeah, with the battle, man, like that's what I mean. It's a good opportunity. I've got my material ready, man. Not for the battle, but you know what I mean. For myself, for what I'm gonna bring, zoned out, who zoned out is, and yeah, man, that's a good opportunity, man. I'm excited, man.
I'm hyped for that. I'm actually more hyped for that than I am that battle.
You know what's crazy to me is that I feel like this is really Zoned Out's second battle. Now, I know there's a 6-year gap, but at the same time, we couldn't have done this event that's about to happen 5 years back. It couldn't have happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure we could have done something cool, but firstly, we were all, just like Zoned Out said, man, we were all young, we didn't know what we were doing. I'm sure me and Keno could have put something together 5 years back, but it would not have been on the level of what we're about to do.
That's right.
What's the reason for that? Decoy for the last year and a half, although we have done an event recently, for the last year and a half though, I've been running a couple of businesses. I understand how business works a lot better, but at the same time I've had the chance to, there were times when my heart was not in God Beef, and I should have never been operating God Beef at those times. I should have maybe taken a hiatus at those times, got myself together, and decided what direction I want to go. Instead of keep going in one direction and never really deciding what my next move was. So
Another thing too, like you had your first 2 events, you had me helping you on the first event, trying to take off the workload as well and more of a outside. And then you had Greeley, but then when you didn't have me and Greeley, you lost a lot of time
yeah,
to work shit.
And
And you needed a me, you needed a Greeley, you needed a whoever the fuck to fill that spot to make it happen.
Yeah,
Like,
look,
'cause you
and
didn't have it, yeah.
unfortunately in situations, there's a reason, unfortunately, myself and Keno parted ways at one point, and again, we'll touch on that separately. There's a reason being really parted ways. They're not important.
No.
The fact is, what he's saying is right, is that a lot of the time there were some situations where I was just handling events myself. We still had some classic events. But then at the same time, there was a lot of times where my heart wasn't in it the way it should have been. And I think Australian battle rap deserves a lot more than that. And I just want to speak to the veterans of battle rap here in Australia, who you can decide who they are. I mean, I know who I think they are, I know who these boys think they are to some degree, but you might class some people as veterans that I don't consider veterans. But the one thing I will say is battle rap veterans here in Australia, you need to understand that you did a lot of groundwork to get what you got. You did a lot to build this battle culture. And the fact that a lot of you walked away from it, I understand maybe it's because of the situation, maybe it's because of the politics, maybe it was all off-putting and made you not really want to do your thing the way you did before. Maybe you lost hunger because of that. This is also a call out to all you veterans out there that have still got that hunger in you, that still want to get your shine and maybe feel like you never properly did. Let's build. Now's the time. Let's get it done. Let's do main events. Let's do classic battles. Let's not worry about everything else. Let's not worry if you like the jumper I'm wearing. Let's not worry if you're a fan of Keno or not. Who cares?
Makes no difference.
Let's just make some classic shit happen.
Yeah.
So
Let's grow the scene as a whole, and let's then all benefit from better music and better battles. a shout out right now, a rapper who I haven't liked in the past. I've always said, when people ask me about Aussie hip hop, I always said he is definitely someone with extreme ability, but I didn't like him. Illy recently put out a track which is almost Drake-ish, but what he did there is he had the musicality and he took away from Aussie hip hop, fucking chill band and all that sort of shit, and it was so impressive. I obviously haven't given it the time to listen over and over because he's not an artist I'm paying attention to, but I know that when I heard it, I took my time to give him his props and go, this is what we need, and this is what will provide better music for us and for our children and keep hip hop alive. At the moment, I personally feel that Australia is the laughing stock of hip hop and battle rap. And I think this can change. This battle event is going to change certainly the battle side of things. Real Talk's 7th birthday is going to change the battle rap side of things. Because if anybody is thinking that anybody's taking anybody light, they're not. I've personally, I've had communication with Disaster. I know he's taking his battle seriously. And this is a guy that could quite clearly walk into a battle and win without preparation, right? At his level he is now, all right. But he's taken his battle with Wiz seriously. So you're going to get a disaster performance. I know I've spoken to Jay, because he's obviously down here in Brisbane. He's preparing for this. There's no fucking around there, that's happening. So, and I'm guaranteed the Soros was taken really seriously. I can't remember
It's a shame that's not happening now, though.
But that happens. Else, right? Yeah, that's a disappointing thing that battle's not happening, but Greeley has his reasons. Nothing to do with me. Shout outs to Greeley. Me and him have always been cool.
I'm sure there's a reason.
But, what Real Talk are doing, what you're doing now with the fact that you're an entertainment thing, you're not a battle rap league, and you're going to provide top quality events, is perfect. And if we can all sort of let go of the past a little bit, grow up a little bit, I'm sure we can make it, we can all contribute something to it. And that's part of the reason they're coming back, is what made it appealing to me, essentially, in the first place, was the opponent. That was part one. Part two is I know, regardless of how that battle goes, whether I win, whether I lose, whether I get embarrassed, whether I impress, it doesn't make a fucking difference. The fact is, a legend's coming to these shores and he's battling in Australia. Another fucking heavyweight in the scene is about to take on Zone Doubt.
Let's not underestimate the other side of the fence, man. At the end of the day, like you said, whether people want to watch that battle because they want to see you get embarrassed, or whether they think Keynote sucks, or want to see him
watch it. Tell me I suck.
Fact is, though, legend of battle rap right here. Now, you might like him for the right reasons, you might like him for the wrong reasons. I don't really give a fuck. Legend of battle rap right here, because he's been a part of legendary shit. Right next to me here, legend of Australian battle rap. Well, okay, he's only had one battle, maybe that's a big statement, but it's one classic battle that changed.
It gave birth to a man's career, essentially. Let's talk about it. Cursor was opening at the time for the Funk Wars. When he first contacted me, I was contacted a lot. I was involved, obviously, in bringing people to the table, doing matchups. And a lot of people contacted me. How did Cursor get through the filter? When I researched him, I'd seen, okay, he's put the effort in to actually put a product together. He had a mixtape, the Straight Out the Gutter thing. He had an active social media, and he was opening for the Funk Wars, who obviously is a great legendary hip hop group in Australia.
So he was clearly around the right people.
So he was in the scene, but just because you're in the scene does not mean you're going to make it. And you've got people who've had great chances. I've no more animosity towards Anecdote we did in the past, but if you look at Anecdote, he had a perfect opportunity to that Cancer song. He had things, but he never got a career out of it in the end.
Yeah.
For whatever purpose that is. It doesn't happen. Things aren't just given to you, you've got to take them. Cursor took them. So I went, okay, here's a kid with heart who's going to take some shit. Let's give him a battle. I can't justify saying to you, all right, let's take this budget we've got and let's add another 5K and bring this opponent over and let's put Cursor against him. It didn't work. Same for him. Obviously, this is my best friend, this is my brother. And obviously, I'd like to turn around and say, fucking, let's pay 100 grand, get Murder Booked here, Murder Booked goes Zoned Out. Oh, you know. Things are going to make sense. So that's what got him through the gate, but his career launched off the fact that here was this guy who stayed true to his character that he created, cornered his market, battled, and the reason we all battle, let's just make it fucking clear. You do a battle so you maximize your views. You can get more views off a battle than you do a tour. You get 100,000 views, 10% of that 100,000 views purchase your product, you've now made money and made a career for yourself.
Yeah,
let's just get that out there. If you don't understand that about battle rap, now you do. So that's what he did. He capitalized off those views. He got mega views with him. He got mega views with 60, with Immaculate. He did some shit battles, but he took some clever battles. Bang. Career. real
hey,
option.
look.
And it can happen for so many more people.
Look, to you veterans out there too, just understand what just got said right there is I know a lot of you feel like your work is done sometimes, but why have you got the likes of your Immaculates and you know, why are these people that have, I guess, already proved themselves
Right.
on a battle rap level, but they keep coming back because they're making music that they need to maximize their fans. You can do that too. You don't have to walk away from it. And if you don't like the state battle rap is in, like we addressed earlier, let's grow together then. Let's build. Let's fix some shit that's going on and let's build and make it happen.
Immaculate's a beautiful example, okay? Because it doesn't matter when you came into Immaculate's career, you followed it from there. I have a DVD at home called Brainstorm 3.
I think I have that.
Right, it's from 2004, 2005.
Didn't Borat win that year? Or?
Ilmac got it.
Ilmac won that
Yeah,
year?
he was this kid, this 16-year-old kid with a little bit of fuzzy facial hair and a yellow hoodie. Bro, he came in and there was some classic battles in the DVD. There was that one guy that battled that chick. I can't remember his name. I'd love to see that guy battle again. He was funny as fuck. And he battled this other dude, red, white, blue, the American fag. And back then that was the style, and he was real good. A lot of shit going on, and Immaculate came in and murdered him. And then he was turned up here, did scribble jam, one scribble jam, spin the mic, fucking 2 times with the Saurus, all that shit he did. Then he disappeared for a little bit, made his music, and then he goes, fuck, I gotta promote myself and only one. How am I gonna do that? Boom, come back, grind time.
Doing that.
Boom, let's go become the king of the dock. Boom, let's go fucking Big K. Like, this is a man who hustles and works fucking hard and has deserved every achievement he has achieved. Nothing's been given to Immaculate. He's grabbed it by the balls and he's fucking taken it. And same as 360, same as Cursor, same as fucking Daylight. Anybody you want to name who is successful have not rested on their laurels. They've achieved something and they haven't gone, okay, that's where I'm going to be now. They've gone, how do I prove that?
Yeah,
how
I'm
do
good.
I improve
I've
that?
gone this
Yeah.
far, so now my music can now sell itself. No,
Yeah.
not at all. You've still got to put in the work to really get your product out there.
See,
Perfect motherfucking example.
yeah.
Right
I
here.
tell you
right
now,
here.
fuck man.
That's why we're glad you're coming back, man. I mean, and you got a reason to come back too, which is great. It wouldn't make sense if you didn't have a reason. You got a reason to come back.
but like,
Love that shit. So
He's-
look, I mean, I think. No, sorry, were you going to say something?
no, I was just with him. Like, obviously people are like, oh, where's the music? Well, there's a page out there, REB sound. Just Google SoundCloud REB, Red Eye Bullers.
R.3.B.
R.3.B, and you'll catch
My
some
soul.
music of him and his family and his boys putting some quality music together up
I've been
against.
hearing some of that shit. Y'all are killing it.
But I mean, then you heard him rap his recent stuff today, which is an evolution from there, right?
100%.
You should not put out a product until that product is something that you can be proud of, something that you can show your family that don't like hip hop and go, hey, grandma, look what I just made. Are you proud of me? Right? And if you can't do that, you know, just because you put in half-ass effort, you haven't done enough. When his product comes out, you can guarantee it's going to be quality, it's going to be game-changing, it's going to be whatever. And that's the reason he's taken fucking 15, what are you, 26 now? 11 years, 25, 10 years, a decade of work. And you're going to see that. You're going to see that in the battle, but you're going to see that in the track he releases at the time of the battle. And that's what makes an artist. And too many people have skipped that.
And look, it's been 5 years since we've seen you. And if it took 5 years to get from there to here, and now's the
It's 5
time,
years well
that's
spent.
perfect. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's right. And at the same time, like I said, with growing, a lot of we can talk about it actually because we're going to do that later in the other interviews, so we'll leave that. But we've had some personal things going on, and it's important also to point out that stress and depression and these things, they affect everybody in different times in their lives
We
in
all got
different
lives
ways.
at the end of the day. I
We
mean,
all have lives at the end of the day, and unfortunately, we went through some shit nobody should have to go through. I mean, I'm not one of these people that can advertise that sort of shit. I know a lot of people come out, hey, I was homeless, I was this, I was that. Good for them. I can't do that. I don't like talking about that shit because that's a private matter for me, and that's
Yeah,
ass shit.
100%.
And it's nothing to do with Keynote. But you know, simple shit like lining up to get fucking nappies and tinned potatoes and shit to eat. You know, we went through that. People talk about that. We actually fucking lived it. You know,
Australia got food stamps.
Australia's got food stamps. Seneca is some real shit.
no wonder they're so fucking hungry, right?
Yeah, right. Cairns is a different dynamic. Everywhere in Australia, Australia's so big. Like, people have got to stop thinking that because they're from one city, the rest of Australia is like that. Melbourne is nothing like Adelaide. Adelaide's nothing like Sydney. Sydney's nothing like Brisbane. Brisbane's nothing like Cairns. Cairns is nothing like Perth. Everywhere is fucking different.
Yeah,
unique.
100%.
This is the size of a continent. Where I am from,
And I love that.
Yeah, where I'm from, I could have traveled from fucking England to Russia in the time I traveled from England to from Cairns to Melbourne to do that battle. Okay, so you've got an entire fucking continent here. Of course, culture's different. Of course, people are brought up different. People live different lives. Cairns is a different place. The unemployment rate there is the highest in Australia. The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island and overall Indigenous population is the highest outside of their communities in Australia, along with Darwin. Darwin and Cairns are the two prime spots for the Indigenous people of Australia.
Yeah,
But you know, everywhere's different. We went through our shit. We were living in Cairns, and we had to go through that shit before we could be involved in anything else. And people are going through their own shit in their own cities. We should stop fucking assuming we know everything about everybody. I don't know. I've got family in Campbelltown, but I can't tell you what growing up in Campbelltown was like.
Yeah,
to us, when we looked at Cursor and them, they were fake. That was our perspective, because he wouldn't have said those lines in Cairns. Why wouldn't he have said them in Cairns? Because he would have had a crowd of 70% black people in that building. And the moment he said "steal the socks off my clothesline," you saw on the videos of the Arrogant, they don't play. All right?
100%.
But at the same time, we're not about to rock up into Campbelltown either and start saying that you can't stop wearing fucking Nautica shirts and doing that shit, because that's their lifestyle
70% of the
too.
culture there is that. So
And that's their
it would be
life.
outnumbered,
So, you know, let's start being a little bit more understanding of shit that's going on, and the fact that we do have lives on the outside. You know, obviously I've been away for 3 years now due to legal issues. I had my freedom taken from me or whatever. You know, there's a lot of kids who are growing up right now who are thinking that it's a fucking cool thing. Like, bro, I went to prison. You know, when I was in one of my units, there was 52 people in the unit, 6 of them were fucking kids, bro. 17-year-old kids in full grown man jail, coming in. And I'm looking at him going, you fucking see, one of them is our boy.
That's
We won't say his name, but our boy, he come in 17 years old. I was like, hey, Joe, what the fuck are you doing here, cunt? Like, how many times did I say to you, keep away from that shit? But because his boys are, nah, fuck it, bro, it's real shit, fuck it. You know, you get that stamp of credibility, bro, fucking bro. And he's gone and done it. And now one of my other friends is doing a life sentence. He's he's 18 years old. He's going to do 15 years before he can apply for parole.
That's fucked up.
So, you know, advertising this culture of criminality, it needs to stop. It's disgusting. You're not going to hear it from me. And I think I've got a lot more credibility than a lot of people that are fucking discussing the matters that they're discussing.
I know a lot about that. And I think the best way to wrap this up is just much love to everybody. Let's all acknowledge a lot of us have all done some work, whether it be in battle rap or music. Much love to the people who are coming up and are gonna, you know, soon be the next, you know, rap battle veterans. You know, salute to you. Salute to the future artists out there that are doing good shit. Like Keynote said, we all have lives. You know, we all haven't seen each other apart from this weekend for about 5 years, maybe more. And we've all been through some shit since then. You know, I've had my times. You know, I even went a bad direction at one point, but I'm here now, and I'm glad that I went from there to here, because I'm here now, and it's a great time. I'll let these guys sign themselves off, and I would just finish by saying much love to everybody out there. Let's come together. Let's make some good shit happen.
I'm gonna sign off by saying signing. Big shout out to everybody, you know, who's doing your thing, coming up. I want to speak for all the young, you know, the youth, a lot of people, you know. I feel just having us as, you know, I'm not saying I don't take myself as anything in Australia or whatever, but I've seen the eyes of little kids that I've inspired from doing this one battle, and I was a kid doing it myself, and you know what I mean, like. You know what I mean?
He's getting smack shit on. Classics.
Here we
The
go.
culture. You
But
know
yeah,
what
I
I
just
mean?
want to say, keep doing your shit. Like he's saying, don't be trying to roll, get your little credibility, think you're mad because you're a little street critter and shit. You know what I mean? Be a man. Do your shit. Make smart decisions. Plan some shit. Do something that you can look back on and thank yourself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
And by the way, man, be yourself. We've already got a curse. We've already got a 360. Be you. Well, we haven't seen you yet.
No one
you
can
would
be
someone
you. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to say thanks for the support. Thanks for the time. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Hey,
coming.
look, I know Keynote's about to sign this off, but I also want to say much love to these two as well for coming a long way, for the fact that we're all back together again and making some good shit happen. I know I'm the one that opened up the dialogue and provoked it all, but I mean, without y'all being on board, and you guys are making this event happen as much as I am.
And a big shout out to you, bro. Because
And-
without you, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, exactly,
I appreciate
exactly. We won't, you know, we don't have that relationship with Dwiz for whatever reason. you know, but he's not doing that either. You know, it's a thing where you have stepped up to the plate in the face of criticism, in the face of controversy. Obviously, your thing on with the fucking conversations with the girl or whatever, which we've discussed off camera.
And we will, again, that'll be discussed probably, but for now, let's just say I took a bad direction.
Yeah, stupid decision, fuck it, doesn't matter, we all make stupid decisions, fuck, you know. Thanks for paying attention, thanks, I don't know if you guys realize that even when you are criticizing me and shit, I'm not taking it to heart. You know, the keynote that's on OzHipHop.com ain't me, I'm not on forums. I just want to make it clear that I'm taking in what you say. You know, like, look at this fucking idiot triple balls, fucking drop a coin, fucking look like you smashed. Okay, fair enough. I did. I look fucking hideous. Get your fucking delivery down. Okay, I worked on my delivery. So thanks for the fucking feedback. Keep the feedback coming, whether it's negative or positive, doesn't matter, because we can take it. We can work from that. Always offer constructive criticism. That's all I'd say. Sign in November 11th. I'm going against a legend. 99.9% of you are going to believe he's going to kill me, and I have absolutely no issue with you thinking that. For the 0.1% that know what's going to happen, shout outs, sign in November 11th, watch that shit, whether, I don't know if you're doing pay-per-view, but whatever. If you can be at the event, that's more important. Let's actually fund the event and give back some money so more things can happen. Support the artist who's doing the tour that we're battling on. He deserves it. He's put a lot of fucking work in. Shout outs to the other guy that's coming to Battle Zone Doubt. You have done a really cool thing in terms of recognizing the opponent that you wanted, recognizing his ability, and knowing that he does deserve that shot, because he does. And
Don't take me lightly.
We want that versus Shotgun Suge version of you. There's a little hint as to who it might be.
Who could it be?
But that's the version of you we want. We want that beast, right, that you can be. I want the beast that has yet to show himself in my opponent. I want to lose. Because I don't think I can now.
We know what your opponent is all about.
Okay.
We've seen a taste of him coming into this ring, and I can't wait for everybody to see what happens.
But the main thing I want to get across is take the animosity, take the history, take the hate, and if you can bottle it, and just give it a fresh chance and look at it as a business in terms of he's stepping back, I'm stepping back, this man's stepping back in because it's what you need, and we're going to see if we can't create something Australia can be proud of, and something that can match the likes of legendary leagues like King of the Dots.
So I was going to say, we got the foundation ready, we need your support, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You know what, I just really on the spot figured out the best way to finish this off, and I just want to say thank you and much love to all the fans that we had from day one, because tonight we experienced something where me and Zone Doubt were just walking down the street at one point, a couple of kids were saying our names, right? I realized that we did really influence a lot of people back then. Now, we didn't know we were doing it back then, obviously. Now we can look back on it, we see we made an impact. Shout outs to everybody that's ever showed love. Shout outs to every kid that's approached me on the street. Shout outs to every time I've been walking into a club street, recognizes me and gives me props for what I did. So allow me, Decoy, second time round, to be the role model I want to be, and be the person that can represent battle rap and represent you the way you want it done.
And
shout outs to everybody.
I do have a couple of shout outs I really need to do. It's to the people of where I work, G. James. Without these particular individuals, I wouldn't have the confidence to even be recognized as Keynote, to step up and do this interview and to do the battle again. It was meeting these people that helped me. Caleb, you know, you watched me in fucking high school, bro. I know we work together every day. That's the coolest shit in the world. Same with you, Jordy. You walked in on your first day and called me Keynote. That was a spin out. My boy Alex, most especially my boy Aleki that we saw today in a suit. You guys are fucking amazing. Yeah, bro. You're the fucking man. But yeah, no, shout outs to all you, because you've also helped me get back into where I need to be to do this again. So I had to make sure I got that shout out
Big shout outs for what we're doing. Shout out to REB, my brothers, all those that are fans of the REB. Watch this, we're about to create a movement, man. You're watching of the making of. And I want a quick shout out also to all my friends, family. I ain't gonna go through names, thousands of them. Biggest shout out to my mother. I wouldn't be here, wouldn't be anywhere.
I love you too, Joe.
Peace.
One last shout out to the old Decoy for making the new Decoy happen. Peace.